Hello guys, it's Paula. Welcome back to my channel, and it's not the mixed media today as I promised. Sorry. I just didn't want to attempt that during the day with Sadie, but I will do it in the next day or two. So I'm working on the Christmas tree story. And it's actually let me see, I can tell you the name, The Christmas Tree That Grew. And it's a very cute little book. But I also want to show you how the tag ended up from our last video, the Copic tag. So I matted it, put some green, I just went blank on what this is called. I know what it is. Satin. No, it's not satin. Anyway, because I colored this. But anyway, I took the Copic paper and I put it on. I inked around the mat, but I didn't ink a lot on the actual image. But I just wanted to show you how it turned out. I just doodled around. You know how I like to doodle. And anyway, I just wanted to show you how it turned out, because I know we didn't get to mat it and do the doodling on camera because we were past an hour. So today, we're just going to create together. Now, I do kind of have a plan. I was creating this morning when it was impossible for me to try to do anything, and I decided we'd try it again. I would make another one because, I'm not super crazy about one of them. So there's two different items to go in a Christmas junk journal, and my next book is going to involve Santa. So I'm going to make this one for that book, but I've made this one for this little tree book. Now, what I don't like is that it's kind of plain, and I just used a paper clip to close it, and then open it. Now, I didn't like the flaps. This is a large, I guess, legal envelope. I don't even know the size of it, guys. I'm sorry. And I just, instead of putting muslin, I put tea stain paper on the back. But after I did this, and since I've been resting and thought about it, I may go back and put some color there. And then I did the inside in this red stripe. And then each tag has a different color. It has the one in the middle has a green tag with the red string, twine, and this one has a red with the green, and this one has a red with the green. And I did both sides of the flaps, but I just didn't like, they don't lay like I want them to, so I'm going to try something different. And then I zigzag down the middle. So let's see what we can come up with. We'll just try something different. I liked the size of this because it's small, and I thought, we're just going to try it and see what we can come up with. Okay, so that's the first project. Now, we got two different papers. I used the stripe inside last time, and I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I cut each little square or rectangle separately. And it was a nightmare getting them all lined up. It took like 3 times as long as it should have. So this time I'm just going to do a solid piece. Although I didn't have a solid piece because this comes from a greeting card. All of this paper was greeting cards. This time I'm going to do it solid inside. We can still stitch, but we won't have these flaps. We'll have I've cut it off. Let me show you. See, and it's teeny tiny because I wanted it to have a clean edge, but I just didn't like the flaps. Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to try it without. And I thought we could just put a little glue here after we put the paper in and just kind of glue this down like it's a border inside the envelope. I may or may not like that, but we'll just try it and see. Okay, so I'm going to put, I had to piece this one because of it being a card. Now you do want to glue this part too. You know, you don't have to put a lot of glue because it's not going to go anywhere. If I can get it in. I know I had it in there already once. Or I may have dreamed it. I like that that's really bright, but I don't think I like that it has a seam in it. So this is why I did the backup one. Now, we can put lots of bright colors around this one. We can even use some of this red. So I think we're going to go with this one. And I'm only going to ink the top because that's all we're going to see. And you would not have had to, if you didn't have this big of a piece of paper, you wouldn't have had to put this much. Just make it far enough down that it doesn't show is the key. And I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on it, but I'm not, you know, I'm not worried about it really having a lot, because, let me fix that right there, maybe just a little bit along the top so we don't have trouble putting our tags in the, this is the fun part, getting it in the envelope without making a mess, especially since it's big. You're just going to slide it down into your envelope. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've got to pull this back. It's in my way. Okay, let's try this again. Just kind of open up your big envelope and just put it to one side. Try to keep it open as long as you can, and then put it to the other side. And it is going to smear glue as it goes. Well, good grief. I had no trouble doing this before. I've put them in several times. I was like, do I do a video on this so that I'm sure everybody's probably done something similar. There we go. I may have glue everywhere, but I finally got it to get down in there. I should have just put it down in and then dropped some glue down in there. Don't do, what is the saying? Do as I say, not as I, do as I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm getting a new envelope because I don't like the glue on the outside. And this time, I am not going to, this is a cream colored envelope, by the way. This time I'm going to leave the flap on until we get it in. Okay? Let's see if that makes a difference. I think I was fighting up against that little part that I had cut off. I may be completely wrong. It may just be that it's just barely fits too, you know. There it goes. Dang. Talk about, I'm telling you, I know that Fabri-Tac is super strong in more than one way. Okay, so this time we're going to cut the flap off. Now I've got my cutter right here. Let's see if I can pull it over a little bit so you guys can see. Okay. And I'm going to kind of line it up so it's straight. Let me see. I cut it pretty small last time, so I cut it a little bit bigger this time. Yeah, I like that better. Now, we'll end up gluing that down inside here once we're done. Now, the next thing we need to do is we really need to score it. That's what I did last time, is I scored it. And, there was no rhyme or reason to it. but I measured it, okay, which makes it is 6.5 inches long and 4 1/4 wide. No, that's totally the opposite, not wide. Wide and long are the same. Tall. It's 4 1/4 inch tall. Okay, so since it's 6.5, I want 3 pockets. So I'm going to do them. I'm going to do 3 1/4, and I'll tell you why, because I want one of them to be smaller. So we're just going to score right here. And this is a lot of thickness, so you have to kind of push down. This is not your typical way to score. Usually you do it individually, and I did last time, but I didn't want to have to wait on it. Okay, so that one is, that's going to be the one that I'm looking here to see. That's going to be the last flap. So the rest of them need to be, we'll just do them. I want to make sure that they fold in on each other. You know, oh my goodness, I'll have to cover that now. Ink. I'm sure it came off my table. See, I want one of them to be smaller and one of them to be bigger. We may be opening out. I'm just going to fold this. You know, I didn't really measure it last time, but I'm just going to fold it, and then I'm going to come back here and score it a little bit. Because I know where I wanted it to go. I just couldn't figure it out fast enough in my head. I should have done that before I got on the video. Okay, now I'm going to scoot my cutting board over. Let's see. Now, I'm thinking, yes, we're going to do this one the opposite. Now, I didn't have any trouble with air or anything like that in it. So this is going to be either the back. We'll have to see. You know, just play with it. Because this one, minus the flaps, came in and came in. So, but I got this side bigger than I got this side. So I did it the opposite. So we'll just go in and go in. Now, the only thing is that it's a little bit off, but that's not a big deal. That doesn't bug me. It is a junk journal. Now, you will get some wrinkling and stuff like that, but that's all right. Now, I'm going to quickly, right here, you can hear me, I'm going to zigzag down these two seams. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to zigzag. Now I'm going to zigzag. I'm going to zigzag down them. And I think we'll like it better. I'm going to try to not get in. I'm going to try not to run out of thread. Keep your fingers crossed. Because it looks like it's really low. We'll see what happens. Now you don't have to worry about the fact that you're sewing down the front of your envelope, because they're going to end up being like pockets, you know. So that's not a big deal. Okay. Easy enough. Okay. So, look how cute that is, guys. I love that. I didn't sew the flaps. But because I zigzagged, I did leave the strings so they don't ravel. I'm just going to tie the 2 bottom ones for now. That way we can know that we can mess around with it without it coming unthreaded. I don't even know if that's a word. Okay. I have my own vocabulary. It's called Paula's Dictionary. I was raised by two Muskogee, Oklahoma, Okie from Muskogee, and you know, I know why I'm getting ink on my thing is because I keep bumping my ink pad, which I don't have closed. Okay, now because this one is like it is, I'm just gonna cut it, and we'll just put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on it, on these strings, to kind of keep them from coming out. My machine won't do back stitch with zigzag. I don't know why. It looks prettier when you don't, but okay. So there, that I like that. And so now that we've got that in, we can let's see if it will go down in there without giving us grief. Yeah. It's, you know, it's going to end up being, I wonder if we should trim it with something. I don't know. That might make it too thick. But we definitely are going to have to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to get my fine line applicator. I have Scotch glue in here. It's, I think it's the tacky glue or something like that. And I'm just going to go along the inside of that white flap. And just let it stay down the best it can. That way I don't have to worry about Fabri-Tac leaking out everywhere. I actually like this glue. The only thing is, you know, it doesn't dry as fast as Fabri-Tac. So that's the reason. Especially when you're doing videos, you know you want something that's going to... Now, I'm going to fold this so that we don't have... I'm just going to make sure it's folding well. Now, I decorated in here, but I didn't put paper. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some little squares. You know, after I did the first one, I was like, well, I could do this, and I could do that, and you know how it is. I'm going to measure these little squares so I know how big to cut it. They're 3 1/4. So if I do 3 inches, 2 1/2, I think I'll do 2 3/4. Okay. 2 3/4 ought to do it. If I have enough. Now, like I said, this paper I've got here came out of we need to do it this way. And the ones on the end have to be little bit longer. And guys, I am just eyeballing it. Like, see, I just kind of put my fingernail indentation there. Now this time I'll do this. I'll take it and just bring this over and match it up. Now the center one might not be, we probably don't want it to be as big. I probably have enough scraps over here, you know, to take care of that. I haven't inked anything yet. We have to ink. I know it's like, man, we have to ink. But we do. We have to ink. Because it just will not look good if we don't. I like that combination of color. Okay, so I kind of want them to be at the same, may end up being the same size. Okay. So we'll ink these and we'll ink the envelope. Now, I'm looking at this. Let me bring my, just don't have enough room. Okay. We'll just do it like this. And we're just basically matting it. We're not going to make pockets out of these because it would make it too bulky to fold it over. Now this one, the thing I'm trying to do is line, I'm going to line this one up and I'm going to line the bottom of the ones on the end up. So we'll glue the middle one down first. And then we can just put something on this. So we're going to ink real fast. And you know I know how to ink fast. Might not look as good as some things, but I still am not sleeping at night, so I have been running on very little gasoline. I'm not kidding you, guys. It has been, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning and, you know, going to bed at 10:30 to 11:30 because I want to spend some time with my husband, you know. But, oh my goodness. I'm too old to do that. And I have, you know, I can't sleep without a sleeping pill, unfortunately. And so I take 2 sleeping pills at night, plus allergy medicine and restless leg medicine. So I should be like totally under, but I'm not. Okay, so we should have done this pocket edge before we sewed it down, but I'm just going to do the best I can here. You know, since it's on black paper, it won't be that noticeable if we get any on it. Okay, now everything is the right. I didn't ink this side. We'll go back and we'll do that when we get on that side. Okay, now let's find out which one's the small one. This one's the small one. With those stripes, I kid you not, it's hard to get your eyes to know for sure. Just going to put some fabric tack on here. I'm not going to go crazy so we don't leak out everywhere. Okay. So next weekend we're taking all of the kids and going to the pumpkin patch. I don't know if I told you guys that or not. I know I told someone. I don't know if it was my sister or if it was you guys. So if it was you, I'm sorry. Anyway, and I'm going to have them all dressed in jeans and some fall colors so we can get some pictures. We haven't gone to the pumpkin patch and taken pictures in a couple years. We usually do it in my yard because I'll do up my flower bed and, you know, but this year I haven't had time to mess with it, so I thought, well, we'll go back. And the nice thing about going to the pumpkin patch that we go to is they have every kind of pumpkin, all different colors, and you know, I've gotten some really good. Now they have this white picket like fence with pumpkins all around it, so you can get some good pictures. And of course, they have all the fun stuff like a maze and all that, and homemade fudge, and who knows what else. Okay, let me make sure those are straight. They're good enough. Okay, so now we have these pockets done. Now, I might end up doodling around this because that's just who I am. And this is going to be for the Santa book, but see, I think he's too big for right there. Maybe over here. I wanted to put here in the middle like Merry Christmas or something like that. But you need more than just Santa. You got to have Rudolph too. But boy, that's big, isn't it? Let me see if I got a smaller one in this package. It looks like these little white ones are smaller. Yeah, they are. So I have my hair down and I just let it dry in it. So I have curly hair if I don't straighten it, and it's driving me crazy. Okay, so I'm going to ink the Santa. And then I might give him a little bit of ink, you know. Wouldn't be fair if I didn't. I hope you guys are crafting along with me today. And I hope that you're trying the mixed media that we're working on. I don't know if this has... No, it doesn't. You have to... No, it does have adhesive, I think. Or I'm fixing... Nope, it doesn't. So I'm going to end up... Gotta wipe the glue off. It had a big bubble on top and it just popped when I touched it. That is so funny. Okay, so I pulled my Santa apart. I gotta fix him first. And then we'll get him glued down. You see, with this other tape, this other glue, you couldn't just hold that down for a second and it hold like it is. That's why I like using Fabri-Tac, especially for videos. I use it on everything. I really need to start cutting back, you know, because it's expensive, and by the time you buy everything else you need, you know, it's it adds up real fast. Okay. The thing I have the hardest thing finding is laces and a lot of the cool handkerchiefs and vintage doilies and stuff like that, you know. The doilies are easier than the handkerchiefs, but yeah, you just never know when you go into the antique mall what's going to be there. Or even if you go to a, I'm going to cut this string. I guess he's supposed to be like a, let me see what it looks like if we, looks like antennas instead of, he's got antlers, so he don't need that. But I'm going to really darken his antlers up. I don't know if it will work or not. He is definitely not an expensive reindeer. He's already rattling. Okay. Now I'm just going to put glue on him. He's got a little bit of padding in him. So he's like a little stuffed reindeer head. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the antlers. And I say that and then it comes pouring out. You can't count on Fabri-Tac not to do just the opposite of what you say, because it does. Okay, I'm going to kind of put him at an angle a little bit because he's got his antlers to deal with and I don't want them in the way of the pockets. Just holding him for a second. Of course, when you do, glue starts oozing out. But not too bad. Just one spot. I'm surprised. Okay, now, we need to come up with a title, which I don't know if I have any titles left in this kit or not. Well, it's not a kit, but you know, I have an embellishment pack over here, you know, that I've had forever. Okay, I'm still going to put, even though it's sticky on the back, I'm still going to put a little bit of my favorite glue. Okay, and I'm just going to put it in the center, so when the book is opened, they can come in here and they can do, You know, I was thinking about making tags to put down in here, but another thing I think that would be good would be just journaling, like journaling cards, you know. And I have tags laid out, but I'm wondering if they would get more journaling space if we did something bigger. I know what I'll do. I'll do a bigger tag, and we'll do a bigger tag, and if we have to cut the length off, we can. Let me get some bigger ones. See, I think that will look better. I just felt like it wasn't using up the space. Let's see how big these are in comparison. Well, they're just sticking out a little bit. So we'll cut the end of them off just a tiny bit. And that way we don't have to deal with it sticking out, because it gets bulky in the book. My thing is always to try to hopefully that wasn't too short. No, I think it's just perfect. You know, by the time we put the ribbon at the top, or not the ribbon, the twine. Got one more to cut. Yeah, I like this size better for this project. Okay. All right, now we've got to be thinking. I did not plan what we were going to do to decorate these. So, I've got some, I'm thinking, I've got some ribbon that has got some kind of bling in it. And when I say bling, I mean like the same stuff that I put on the cover. And since we've got red and green in this little project, that should be good. One of my very favorite things, and you guys have probably noticed this, is doing stuff with envelopes and cards. It's kind of like a challenge, taking something else and changing it into something else. Maybe that's why when I started doing junk journaling, I fell in love with it so fast, was because I just took something else. I took something and turned it into something else. And that's why I named my shop what I did. You know, it's renewed and crafted. And when I say for you, it means for whoever it's supposed to belong to, or whoever will end up with it. Okay, so I think I'm just going to put a strip, because I want them to all look alike. I think I'm just going to put a strip. I love this ribbon, by the way. A strip across each one. And we'll just decorate them all the same. And that way it'll be more cohesive. I'm just going to cut 3. Measure them and cut them. So Sadie has a new love. I don't remember what the thing is called, but it's a chew toy that you put food in. And she loves peanut butter in there. And the vet told me, you know, the vet gives her peanut butter on a stick whenever she's gonna do things that Sadie won't like. But she devoured it. I filled that thing up and she devoured it. I thought that'd keep her busy while I'm doing this video. Nope. The second the second I got ready to turn the video on, she was roaming all over the table, doing her own thing. So we had to go in the other room, unfortunately, but she does good. All right, here we go. Just some Fabri-Tac. And then we're just, I like simple tags. So, but this one is simple but not simple at the same time. And because we're sticking them down in pockets, I'm going to have to trim this. Because we're sticking them down in pockets, you know, you don't want a whole lot of stuff down the front. At least I think it'd be easier to put stuff in your pocket that way. I'm going to let that dry before I take that off. Okay, here, oops, I was going to put it on the ribbon so I don't get it everywhere. Come on. All right. Man, that one leaked out glue, and it didn't even look like that much. May have been me pushing down on it too hard too soon or something. So, I think what would be better is if my Fabri-Tac wasn't coming out 90 miles an hour. That's another thing it does. Once it starts that whole volcano thing, it starts just pouring out faster. It's like you can't stop it. It's like it's wanting to escape. I could probably save half a bottle just by it bubbling over. And I've been trying to close it to see if that makes a difference. And, you know, no longer than I have it open, it doesn't. I mean, it's still going to bubble over no matter what. My sister will put hers in a warm to hot, like coffee cup, and let it kind of float around in there. She swears that it thins it out. I don't know if that, you know, if it's true or not. I haven't done it, but okay, so let's put some twine in these and we'll go from there. I just kind of did green, red, green. I just thought, you know, I'll just alternate them. And I'm just going to tie them on here like a double knot. I don't want them to go anywhere, so I'm going to do a double knot, and then I'm going to pull them straight up and make a knot up here if I didn't cut them too short. Yeah, I cut them too short. I like to do that because it, I just like the way it looks. Okay, we're going to slip this one into the first pocket, but because this ribbon's still drying, I'm not slipping them. You know what? I'm not going to put them in there yet because I want to look at the back side and see what we want to do on it. Because look at that. That's not cool. I guess my ink pad just was too close. So on the back, I don't know if I have any more of this. Let me look and see. I have some smaller, so we'll use that. And this is a card, by the way. Hobby Lobby sells card sets, and so I guess I should put the rest of my twine on before I get over excited to move on. Okay. There we go. One more. I thought I didn't have 3 strings cut, but I guess I did. When you're busy, that shows you how you just don't even remember little things at all. Cut the string off. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to flip them over and see what we decide we want to do on the other side. We've got to cover this up. And we have to ink it. So let's quickly ink it. Like it's practically inked itself. Okay, now it's inked. So, I'm going to measure this little section real quick. The one in the middle is, we will want to cut it just slightly smaller than 4. And let's see, although this is going to be the back, maybe we'll leave the back. Nah. Okay, slightly... Okay, we're going to do slightly under 3, slightly under 4 for the center one, and make that work. All my stuff over here is just all mixed up. I've got a mess going on. Slightly under 4. Okay, and slightly under 3. I wish I could have got 2 out of that. Maybe that one will fit. See, that's a little big. Okay, you take a little bit more off. I would take it off the side as well. Don't even know the measurements now. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I've told you guys that before. Okay, there, that one. Let me see if the length or the height is what it needs to be for them to look right next to each other. Yeah, it needs just a tiny trim. Little tiny trim. I like them to be lined up even though they're not the same width, you know. Otherwise, they look all wonky on there. This one's bigger, so let's see how much bigger. It looks about the same width and just a little bit more on the height, so I think we're good. I'll trim this advertisement off of the back of this. Okay, so hopefully we have enough to, okay. Get my fingers to work. My nails look horrible. You know, doing mixed media and all of that stuff, man, I'm not kidding you. Let me see if these are the same height. Almost. I gotta take a tiny bit off. Okay, I'm just gonna, I just don't want to have to cut it a dozen times. Now let's see. That's close enough, isn't it? I think by putting, I know this is a busy mat, but I thought what we would do is put some coffee stain, because this is a journal after all. But we could do it like, you know, since this is going to be a book to document Christmas, we could do like journal, list, events. You know, we could come up with something that we want to put on there. Now, we don't have to put this tea-stained paper on. Let me see. Oh, we don't. We may have to do the other one in another video. I can finish this video and go ahead and put the tea-stained paper and then see if I have enough battery. I might have to charge up, and then my phone doesn't, you wouldn't think something this little and easy would take that long. My phone doesn't, it won't take a lot of memory, even though it's not the newest, but it's the one before that. That drives me crazy. That's why when I did the mixed media thing the other day, I had to get, I'm getting some paper out. Okay, we're gonna glue these down real quick. I had to get, what? I don't remember what I was gonna say. Just rattling, I guess. Well, I'm not rattling. I was thinking about what I was going to tell you, and then I got distracted about the paper because I didn't want you to have to be totally bored. You want to make sure your paper's in the upright position. That will make a difference, you know. Okay. All right. Yeah, I want it to definitely have extra journaling space. Otherwise, it's just like having a trinket or something, you know. That's why I wanted the tags bigger in the front, so it could hold lots of extra journaling. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm sure most of you do. But when you have a junk journal that has tea-stained paper and so forth, the only thing that is archival is your scrapbook paper. So if you decide to put a picture in your journal, you will need to make sure you mat it with some scrapbook paper. And I know a lot of people use them for, they'll put in like a picture, you know, from the season of Christmas, and then journal about what was going on. Everybody does it a little different, but this sure did help the tea. Not tea, good grief. The ink that got on here. And something I didn't have on the other one, it was pretty flat because I didn't put any embellishments. This one is going to be bulkier because of the embellishments. See, this little guy has a little stuffing, and this is up on some, oh, I folded it in the wrong way. We'll make it work. Look at that. And it's going to be cute because it has the paper on the back, and that one doesn't. I may go back and put paper on that one too, just because I think it would look cuter. Now, let me see if I have any more scraps down here the right size. I don't think I do, but I'll get some more out if I need to. And I'm just going to eyeball it. This scrap here came from my, I know I have a pencil. There it is. It came out of a rusty old pan, because sometimes I like that old rusty look. Okay, there's one. Let me get my little cutter out. It doesn't take up as much space is what I like about it. Listen, I just watched the Copic coloring, and toward the end, there's a little tiny place toward the front where I guess I didn't know I was out of frame. that didn't last very long, but toward the end I was out of frame too, and I'm so sorry. I didn't even know that, and I didn't get to really watch it last night before my husband posted it. And I'm just going to cut them all the same size. How about that? And so I feel like, you know, it was frustrating to me when I saw that I didn't. But you got to see what it was all about, and it was something different. I enjoyed doing something different for a change, but I really wanted to do it for the book. I mean, if you can find Christmas trees and stuff like that, you know, embellishments and so forth, but I wanted something that was crafted for the book. So that was my hang up with it. That's why I wanted to do it. One more and we'll be done with this part of it, and then if I can get my paper lined up in here correctly. Okay, we'll get these glued down and go from there. I'm going to try not to put too much glue in the middle so that it's not lumpy, completely lumpy. Oh, I think I just got my head in the way. And it is wild right now. We're going to dinner with my daughter and her family tonight. I'll definitely have to fix my hair before I go. I feel like I go around with glue on my fingers all the time. It's like I'm peeling glue off even when I use soap. You know, it's like, okay, I'm never going to have nice nails again. It's like I need to get to the nail shop and get them done. They're due to be done. It's just, I've been so busy working on my books that I just kind of worked right through my need to do it. Now see, I just think that looks better, even though, I don't know, it makes the journaling page pop a little bit more than it would just being on the white. And I don't know if that comes from me being a scrapbooker also, but I like the clean look of this. But that looks like we're done now, guys. Now we'll get a, let me see what color paper clips I have. I know I have green, but I don't think I have red. Got a little bit of all different colors here. Let me see if I can find another big green one. Of course, you have to open it up and spill them out to find a big one. I think this had more small in it than it did big anyway. Here's a white one. We'll just use the white one. All right, guys. The inside of, and this envelope, did I measure it? I think we did. It was 9.5 long. And I think it was 4 something tall. And it's 4 inches tall. So, yeah. Oh, gotta put our tags in. Won't do us any good without our little journaling tags. And I need to trim them. I'm telling you. If I don't do things right then, sometimes I forget. So I gotta... Got that one trimmed. I love that. This is the trim I put on the book. And it really says Christmas, you know. I'm trying to put it in a pocket behind Santa, which there isn't. You could cut this off too if you wanted to. And I might do that the next time I make it. Just to see what the difference would be. Because I know I still have several books to make for Christmas. And then we're going to fold Santa in first. Then Rudolph. And, you know, I really want something right here. I want it to say something. Or is this this is the side that opens. I want it to say something, guys. I recommend you don't put anything too bulky in here. I think these two were too bulky. I might have to do a little tie around it. I think I am. I want it to say like Merry Christmas or something on there, or journal. I had some stuff laying around here, but I think it's gotten buried since then. Oh, there's something. Let's see what this says. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing says anything. So I'll look in my stash and see what I can come up with, and I'll put a title, and then I'll just get some muslin and tie around. But isn't it cute? I thought it was. All right, guys. I will close this video out and see if my phone can handle another one today. If not, I'll do the other one tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up if you did. And leave a comment. I like to hear from you guys. And tell me what you're working on. And maybe tell me a little something about you. And, yeah, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. We have lots of fun. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.